Yeah, like I was saying in the video, just I'm sitting here, right? And really nothing is even different if Brian was here. Just except him complaining about having to roll cigarettes. Where when I knew him before, he was not like that. And my sister and I were discussing about because people notice how messy he is with the rolling and just leaving globs of tobacco everywhere. He wasn't doing that either. He had a little tray that he was proud of. I think he got on Amazon or something, and then he put the tobacco back in the bag and stuff. He didn't leave mounds of tobacco all over the place like that. Typically, he takes off at his paycheck with his money. That's usually every 2 months, right at payday. That was the cycle before. So luckily, the first day I forgot to go to the bank, and then that day we went to the bank in the morning. So he does. All he has to do is stay away from me, and then Mary won't steal all his money. Since I'm sure that's what he tells people is going on, how terrible I am and stuff. Like I said, Phil's sociopathy was sort of like a love ruin type of thing. Right. I don't think Brian has the capacity to do that, and he doesn't have to. Like I said, if you're manipulating other drug addicts and drunks and people that are trying to help you, it's a pity factor. And dudes, right? Just other screwed up dudes for the most part. Even other drug addicts and drunks. I mean, he could be talking to them right now. I don't know, but I think most of them it runs dry after a while. Um, some of those people had families before and stuff, and so it's a different type of person. Like this is one of the weird things about these state-funded recovery programs and stuff that clearly everyone knows I don't agree with. At this point, if you're just rotating Oz, whatever, I'm not sure anyone cares. But most of them are actively using drug addicts still. Okay. But I'm sure they probably say that they're in recovery and they're still working for Gavin and stuff and dating people from Gavin. I just, and then that's a person that's gonna meet up with Brian occasionally, but never take him to a shelter. And then one of them is gonna actually go on Facebook and ask people for money for cigarettes. And that's a good person that's helped Brian. And Mary's a terrible person that just took Brian's money and is psycho and talks about him on the internet and stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you're a friend of mine and you're a drug addict, I think you understand what I'm saying on Facebook. Right, because you don't hang around with me when you're using and you don't ask me for things. It's called the boundary. And I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. I have no history of drug use at all, including marijuana. I'm not even that type of a drunk. I've never once been, what do they call it, like rolling people, running, trading medications, boosting, partying with them. They're not supposed to try to go out with me. Like, seriously, that's the only dude that I've met in 15 years that's done this. Okay, so he's really not even that typical people. And to some degree, some of the homeless population has gotten worse and it's changed. And I'm not in Quincy anymore. I'm in Boston and Cambridge now, so it seems to be a little bit more woman hate out there. I don't remember that in Quincy, except I told you in 2020, but it could be because I'm street homeless, so it's a different thing where all of a sudden you're allowed to just scream at me. and continuously ask me for cigarettes and stuff. No one was doing that in Quincy, no. Just, yeah, I'm not in the share community. You have to have, like, you have to be one of you to be doing that. Okay, like, I would assume they're doing it to regular females that aren't homeless, so they don't think they are. I would have to assume they are. But just because you think I'm street homeless and I have a cigarette and like nobody cares, I'm sure someone cares. Someone cares. Not nobody cares how you're treating me. Clearly, the creator cares. Sometimes bad things befall bad people. I don't know. Go over again the conditions in the shelters in case people don't know. Um, it's filled with drug addicts, which are worse than drunks. And then you have many people that just go in there to prey upon other homeless people and find people to party with and get drugs and stuff. It's awful. Even just sitting in a shelter like that, you'll be bombarded with people to talk to. Like that guy Jay that was friends with Colleen. When Brian wasn't around, that dude was trying to talk to me and go out with me. And then, yeah, just that insanity that happened. And like I said, and then Brian actually thought that I had something to do with them beating him up. You told the police it was because of a female, and you're talking about Colleen. I know you just go, apparently, I, Almighty God, is allowing you things to do it, but I can only guesstimate your danger level as your desperation grows. This business with the telephone, where you will not stop killing the battery on the phone. It's like the laptops. It reaches a point where you are so frenzied and insane, and you've made up some kind of a doctrine in your heads, and it's just full throttle in order to try to avoid reality and take life-ending medication. So, yeah, just I'm right in the middle of talking, and bloop, there goes the battery again. So it's just I cannot order another telephone until I'm back able to go to where I get mail because my sister gets her internet through the government. So we don't want to mail anything here that might have our internet shut off, even though I don't live here. Okay, so um, yeah, just yeah. I mean, I guess to some degree, I don't. They're always shutting off my phone service, always shutting off my data, and it's a holiday coming up. So yeah, I mean, you really don't want to order a phone. I don't know if they shut off your service when you activate the new phone or when you ask for one. That's why I haven't ordered it from here. So anyway, it's got nothing to do with Brian Buchanan. It's just the typical things like shutting off my phone for the Social Security hearing and stuff. It's just clearly it's going to be 58 and 60 degrees. So there's clearly either thermonuclear weapons or Almighty God using ionizing radiation for the extinction. Okay, so they channel some of that into everyone's in an outrage about something. I don't think we should do one of those. I don't see other people displaying that, but the people with the technology. Yeah. I've been in the city and out here. I don't see other people doing that. It's just those people. Okay. Because clearly they watch everything online, they're blocking everything, so they have an awareness of some kind of reality, and then they go into this frenzied thing about shutting me off, which has no meaning. It's a mental insanity. So it's been like 5 laptops, 2 or 3 cell phones, and then that changes reality. They're deleting people's memory files and stuff, and everybody's on a walkabout, and everybody's venting and resolving, and it's about forgiveness and all this stuff. None of that is true. I mean, if that's true for your species, you need to leave me out of it and leave me alone and stop trying to shut me off. Right? That's why you just go, why didn't you just put me in housing? You wouldn't have any of this going on. That's why it's insane. It's sort of like Brian Buchanan. They do stuff to make themselves insaner, and then it's just worse and worse. Why didn't you just put me in housing and approve my social security? You wouldn't even have these worries about shutting me off. So anyway, like I was saying, I was rolling cigarettes, and that was that. What was I saying? Right, it's a like a person. I wasn't even talking about the damnation and stuff. It's just things will go. There was a couple of little blips on Facebook, but as you notice, they don't remove the post if I'm like certain things. So it has nothing to do with reconnecting and just hanging out and being happy about the cruise and stuff. You just go because they think some of them think they're therapists and lawyers and stuff. Oh, that's a denial. We're talking about the cruise. That's all I've been talking about for a year. And then they try to cause an agitation because they believe that's a form of therapy because they're sadistically deranged. Oh yeah, just hitting all these things that no one needs to talk about anymore and bringing up past memories and stuff. There's no meaning to be doing that. Just you got to trust me. I'm in a really good communication with the Almighty. Just none of that is true. God explains to me some of the doctrines you make up, like a psychotherapist would go, so do you ever do this or what do you think of that or stuff like that? Not God's, that's the truth because God told me it. Thoughts and ideas get validated by talking to other people. That's how I come to certain conclusions. I think outside, yeah, I was talking about Phil, who I don't typically think about. It came up at the train station about a different type of sociopath that uses fake love and affection to manipulate and get things that they want. Uh, Brian Buchanan doesn't feel he has to do that. He relies upon this pity party. He's retarded. He has the foster care and all this. He's brain injured. And then I was saying he doesn't even seem like he's brain injured anymore, just selective memory. What's this one? House Guess? Steve Martin and Goldie Hawn. There was a Goldie Hawn and Mel Gibson film. Bird on a Wire was on before this. Must be like Goldie Hawn Day. Some of these films were cute. Yeah, Bird on a Wire was good. I think I've seen this. I don't know if this is one of the ones I liked, but yeah, I was mentioning that it's like really not any different without him here. There isn't even sort of like any memories that I'm sad about not having anymore. I experienced that after the wedding when he kept claiming he couldn't remember anything about 2023. That was the only time he seemed like he liked me. Throughout the why? What happened?